drama with Wanda. To be on IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeartRadio station. And thank you for showing up. Today is Sunday. It's hot in Chicago. I don't know where you at, but here it's hot. It is very hot. Hotter than July. It's July too. Loving the weather. If you are watching on Facebook, please share the broadcast. We're going to be talking about interracial dating today. And I have a great panel for you. Today's show is brought to you by Allstate Insurance, 7380 West 87th Street, 708-599-5100. That is Salim Almosa. Ask for Salim. Tell him I sent you, Wanda B. I don't know if you get a hookup or not, but tell him I sent you. They're for home, auto, and life insurance, Allstate Insurance. And then also Premier Family Health, 5600 West 87th Street. Health and Wellness, a comprehensive family medical practice dedicated to helping achieve your health and wellness goals. So please check them both out. Tell them that Wanda B sent you. We appreciate them as sponsors of He Said, She Said with me, Wanda B, and my great, fabulous, excellent team and guests with me today. I got Black.
What's up, y'all? Peace.
Yeah, affectionately known as N-Dot.
Hello.
And we have our special Blaze.
How's it going?
So today we're going to be talking about interracial dating, and then I have a group. He Said, She Said. We have a group. He Said, She Said on Facebook, and the topic kind of came up today, and I thought, you know what, this topic also ties into what we're going to be discussing today. So we thought we'd bring it up. But how was you guys' weekend so far?
It was great.
Great, good.
Great. Shape it up. It's real hot.
It's so
It's
freaking
so
hot.
hot.
Yesterday I went to MCA, Museum of Contemporary Art,
Ooh.
and they had the footwork exhibit. So I got to
an exhibit for
let me
footwork.
see my footwork.
Hey.
And so they every month they do an event there. I didn't know about it until last month. Event had come and passed, but they do a night at the museum, lights out at the museum or something like that. But nice, cool place. Parking was ample. I swear downtown had all the breeze last night. It felt absolutely amazing. But outside of that, it's been a good weekend.
Nemia is our socialite, so if there's something to do on the weekend, Nemia can usually fill you in on
Today kicks off house music extravaganza. So they got a ton of stuff. Virgin Motel is doing something on the rooftop today. And then there's
the picnic is next Saturday, right?
Is it Saturday or on the 4th? They normally do it on.
I thought it was July 7th.
But I know they're going to do the
picnic.
The bar crawl is during the week. So
they
maybe
have a bar crawl.
Yes.
Why don't not know black people bar crawl?
What?
You have a bar crawl?
The house music bar crawl.
I've never heard of that.
Listen,
What?
House music bar crawl. Let me write that down.
It really
Off
is.
The chain. Norman's Bistro, Francis. The
Dating game, family dance.
Yeah.
Really?
But they got good wings.
Yeah,
Let me tell you one thing about wings. People talk about Harold's and Uncle Remus. You go to a good lounge, they got some good wings.
What's that spot? Is it on 87 West on 87 on the corner? You know what I'm saying?
Toward Western.
Yeah.
I was talking about
Best wings in the world.
Well, y'all gonna have to fill me in a little bit more where it is.
Is it called LaMelle? No, not LaMelle's.
It's right next to LaMelle's.
But that's between.
Oh, man,
Ash and,
Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
Reese's.
Wings are to die for.
Okay, so wing talk. Now we're gonna chase down bar crawling and wing talking. While we're talking about places to go, Thursday, would love for you guys to come out to our game night, Becoming Dateable, and He Said, She Said.
It is the first of the month.
It is the first of the month. Yes.
Today's literally the first.
Today is literally
the hood card. How you know that song?
That's,
I don't know. I got a black card today, y'all.
Yeah, I got one notch back because it got stolen a while ago because I haven't seen any black movie. What is all the things I haven't done black? Right. But I do know that song.
First of the month.
I do know it is the first of the month. I don't know who sings it.
Yeah.
Or is it Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Yeah. Oh, and you know the artist.
Oh, that's the one.
Oh my God.
That's all I know. Here we go. But we're going to be going to Becoming Dateable. It's our game night. They play spades, Jenga, Uno. But Deep breath. He said, she said. Men versus the women trivia.
He's versus she.
He's versus the she's. That is the part he said, she said brings to it. And ladies, we do not win. Out of all been doing this over a year, we did win last month, but it's always questionable how we win. We always win.
See, they just won't let us be great.
They won't let us be great.
A win is a win. There's not a possible. Either you won or you lost. So we won last month.
We won last month.
I'm coming for sure Thursday.
Okay, so this is what happens. Ladies, any ladies out there who know sports, I'm going to need you to come out because that's what trips us up every time is the topic of sports. And we don't know our sports, and the guys tend to know a little bit of everything. They know about tampons. We're like, how y'all know that? How you know about that? Shoes. Sisters. I mean, they kind of know a lot about a little bit of everything.
And women, period.
Tripped up on sports every time. So if you know your sports, come out. And we have a good time. It's at Lakewood Bowl, 5125 Sauk Trail. There's an open night, mic, comedy, and then the game night is what I need you for, so the women can try to win. Because we've only won 3 times in a year and a half of doing this. We've only won 3 times.
Wow, domination.
Wow. Yes, we're not winning at that. So interracial dating. So that is our topic for today. And
we're getting right to it today.
We're going to get right to it. Unless you got something else you'd like to discuss.
No.
Let's do it.
Last show we were out at sorry y'all. That seemed like so long ago. I'm sorry. A week goes
so far away. And that was just
It was just last week, but I swear it feels like, where was I last week? So many things happened within. But last week we were out there at the ceasefire event with the Brotherhood of Barbers. We had a great time. I was here with my he said, she said team, and we talked everything hair, but really the barbershop secrets. Boy, was that
secret?
That was a hot show.
Let me tell you what happened at the barbershop yesterday.
Oh Lord!
I was sworn to ultimate secrecy now. If I want to continue to come
her
to the
card is going to be revoked.
You got it for revoking the secret.
A reprimand for real.
But I did get a fifth for $25 at the barbershop.
So
you already telling.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't want to lose my card, but I'm gonna have to ask. What is a fifth
of alcohol? Like
they sell alcohol at the barbershop,
at the beauty shop too. I will say, you can get.
Yeah, it's what we call.
You can get groceries at the.
If you inside, right?
Anything can happen inside. They telling again, y'all.
Steaks, we got shrimps, we got whatever you want.
Oh, so what I gotta do? Shave something to get in the barbershop? Go for a lining. Do women get lines?
The back, get the back of the hairline.
Yeah, your eyebrow arch. We arch eyebrows and everything.
You can get your eyebrows arched at the barbershop.
Yes,
I'm learning something new. See,
that's not gonna give you enough time to kind of
right. I need to be can I get my hair washed or do something like right line the back? I'm gonna stay for a while. I'm gonna bring my son. Even though he don't need hair.
Do that.
That's what you do.
Do that
just to have a reason to hang out at the barbershop.
Exactly. Okay,
so you were able to purchase a whole fifth. Yeah. I'm not sure how big that is, but that sounds very funny that you got.
It's a $40 bottle.
Yeah.
At the barbershop, somebody comes in, you can get your hook up there. So that's what happened last week at the ceasefire event. We were out at Ogden Park for a good cause, hopefully getting people to put down the guns and free haircuts. They gave free haircuts to seniors and kids 7 to 17. It was a great event and intellectual radio entertainment. We broadcast from out there in the park in Inglewood and had a great time, and I learned some secrets, and that show was hot. I had a lot of positive feedback. They loved that the barbershop secrets. We're gonna have to do that again. I don't care. Let's get it out of y'all. You said no more secrets. I did. Black, you get in trouble for talking.
No, because that was part of her reprimand. I made it known to the brothers that baby sister over here, she was just running, and like her mouth had track shoes on it, but it was cool though. But
too now.
No, well, I had to like smooth it over because she was just like, nah, what about this? So,
I did hear a blow dryer yesterday though.
There was a blow dryer in the barbershop.
What the blow dryer was being used for? But
somebody getting another unit.
Oh Lord, no.
I learned what unit is.
Okay,
wow. Y'all better go back and watch that show because if you don't know what a unit is, which I didn't know what a unit is.
They were drying somebody's lining.
No,
you dry lining.
No,
you draw it on. You gotta dry it.
Perspire, and we use the cool air to calm you down a bit.
Calm you. You guys, that was. Oh, what else did we learn? Fibers. That was used for the fiber.
Yeah, somebody probably did have fibers yesterday.
Yeah. But we were making sure. I was like, "She coming, y'all. She coming, y'all. So y'all hurry up."
Oh, y'all changed everything for me.
No.
They were kind of quiet and meek yesterday.
Yeah, because everybody saw that.
Yeah, they
did.
did.
We had a discussion like, man, what y'all was doing? Okay, it's cool. It was for the show.
Well, bring them on the show. They can tell their own secrets.
I know that's right.
I need another barbershop secret day. I really learned a lot.
That was a good one.
Now we need
that was a good one.
Beauty shop secret day.
See, nothing really happens at the beauty shop.
Lies.
You've heard our
probably
conversation.
want a girls' night out conversation.
No, beauty
day,
shop.
But beauty shop, we really don't talk about much.
Y'all know our weaves. Y'all know our secrets. Y'all secrets under our hair.
Cap, though? With
That's a new thing. Yeah. So they.
Yeah.
So the new unit, you got to mold the hair. Then you got to put like a stocking cap, and you put this freezer glue stuff on there.
Ooh-wee.
And you dry it, and then you put the wig on, and you dry it again, and then you either do
is that like a quick weave when they say they're getting a quick weave?
Child, I don't know. The girl I follow on Facebook, Julesy, I watch her put her wigs on all the time because she does it. She pairs it with like political commentation. She's
talking politics and she's installing her wig. Go, girl. Multitasking at its best.
The quick, either you're gonna do a side part or you gotta pull your hair out and do like with a baby brush. Do your baby hairs?
Baby hairs?
I don't have baby hair.
It's spray.
Everybody got baby hairs.
I didn't know it ain't baby. It's gray.
Well, you got edges though.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't have edges anymore.
So then you pretend
that's what they
your baby.
Yeah. They come from all the way
like they wave.
That's exactly what they do.
And what's up with the toothbrush though?
Toothbrush that's jail. That's been around since.
That's old.
That's old school.
The bristles are fine enough to get all the little hairs back.
So that's the baby hairs that you manipulate.
Yeah.
Hello. We're gonna have hair salon secrets.
Okay.
I go to a hair salon. Go to a beauty shop.
Right.
I go to a hair salon. We're gonna have hair salon secrets since the barbers all getting kind of funny because we gave all the little unit secrets. Even though I think y'all know all ours. We come. They do.
They talk about us all the time with our little.
We're
secrets.
Very vocal about what we're doing
anymore.
We don't hide. You know it's weave. Do you think men don't know it's a weave?
Yeah, we
still.
Sometimes it looks so good that it don't look like it.
I hope that's the goal for ladies to have it not look like. Mm-hmm. Can you tell when it's a weave?
Mm-hmm.
How?
It just looks too long.
Oh, okay.
If it's like very, very long, I just assume.
Well, yeah, some of them when they're wearing it.
Yeah, now it's like down to your butt.
It's like 22 inches. Or something like that.
My hair is like all the way down.
I'm impressed that you know inches, though.
Hey, listen, now. I've been in the industry for a long time, so it's just like.
Well, that's true. You're in the industry.
Yeah. So it's like 22 inches or something.
See, in the 90s, we used to try to fool people into thinking it was our hair, so it had to blend. Now
I wish we go back to that though.
Yeah,
you used to not tell people you had a weave. It was secret.
But everybody of all ethnic groups today are getting like extensions and things like that.
I think they had them before us actually.
It's very mainstream.
No, they've been had that.
They've been wearing them.
Weird and different things like that. Because to me, that's where it kind of started from. Just to give you like a fuller to your thin hair or longer or quick color or something like that. You don't want to mess with your real hair, something like that. But what gets me now is the weave for the natural hair.
Yeah.
Weave for the natural
hair. So one of the bigger culprits, and
this is Secrets Part 2. We're going to take a little while on this in a second because we're back.
Lettucey had extensions in her locks. Absolutely.
See, now to me, that's
so
not that's
extension
really
with locks, and you can get extensions with an afro.
Yeah.
To make it full. Because see, my hair is wavy, and so it doesn't get full like the big, hair pretty. Either. So I mean, eventually, if I cut my locks out,
you would wear.
Listen,
I don't mind women doing it, but don't get that extra cocky. I'm all natural, and you got weave with natural hair.
Well, you probably just use natural grease. I think when they just say they are natural, it's like,
don't be giving me looks like, well, you're not natural, you straighten your hair, and I'm all natural, and you got weave natural hair. Now that's not. You can't have the attitude and don't fake.
Like all the edges is straight like a perm headed, and then you got an afro bun at the top, and it's not yours. You got a 1992. Remember the ponytail with all the little scrunchies and they make the fan? Okay, I'm still.
Yeah, no. So no, don't do that. Don't do that. Shout out to Katie Lowe, Rhythm and Flow with Katie Lowe.
Hey, Katie, how's the little puppy?
Yeah, how's your puppy? Yes, Katie came out. We had a good time with Katie and her dog, Rhythm and Flow with Katie Lowe here at IntellectualRadio.com, 4:45 on Tuesdays. And a lot of our Intellectual Radio family were out doing their shows, Jaw Jacking and Sister's Heart.
Great.
Oh yeah, you got to sit in with them.
Yeah. Oh, we beat the table though.
We beat the table, yeah.
Across the park.
Did you really?
I got a boo. He was like 3. Like we went together for like 30 minutes.
Get you a boo.
He
was asking for you. You coming back?
You coming right back? You gonna play? Okay.
It was a good time in the park.
It was.
It was.
Shout out to McCoy Barber College too.
Yeah. Oh, big shout out to McCoy. I'm a big fan of Miss B. Yeah. Miss B also had a show here at IntellectualRadio.com, Coming to My Garden. We used to have a good time with Miss B. She'll be back. Took some time off, but she had the most peaceful show.
First of all, you have to have a peaceful show called Coming to My Garden.
First, I'm going to, and you be like, oh.
You just want to.
She'll love you. Go check them out. Go to IntellectualRadio.com. Look for Coming to My Garden. You can check out some of her shows and also on YouTube if you like, and check to My Garden with Miss B, who is also the proprietor of McCoy Barber College. And you went to McCoy Barber College?
Yes.
Okay.
1999. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yes. Shout out to Miss B.
You want to know what I was doing in 1999?
Can you tell us?
Yeah. Sophomore year of high school.
High school.
You a baby?
Mm-hmm. Well, you a real baby.
I am.
Oh, you a baby.
What were you doing?
I was only 10 years old.
You got me because I was a married mom, so I really sound old compared to y'all and you all's 1999 stories. Wow. Amazing, right? You were only 10. We're going into our topic now. Interracial dating. So I guess should we start? I don't know if I want to start out with what we feel about it or as a whole. So much is put on social media about it all the time, and it's either negative or most of the time it's kind of read as being negative.
It is
from a negative standpoint. What do you think? I don't know if I want to straight out ask, do you interracially date? But because I was asked that before the show, and I was like, would I say I date interracially? Have I dated interracially? Yes, I have. So I guess I will just flat out ask that. Do you date interracially Black?
No, but I have a nephew, my brother. My nephew is from an interracial relationship. I love him, his mom to death. Me being militant a little bit, I had to come away from that because love is love, and you can't help who you fall in love with. And it's just like, she beautiful. Shout out to Kimbra and my nephew Kaden.
Let's talk about that too. I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna come back to that. Can you help who you fall in love with? Can you help who you Nemi, do you interracially date?
Hey auntie.
No.
Can you help who you, and is there a why or why not to that?
I am just not attracted to the opposite race.
I think that there's a thing is preference. There's just who you kind of are attracted to makes a difference.
And for clarity, so I've dated, and I mean, does teen even count? I dated a Hispanic guy before. In my 20s, I dated, and I went out. I dated an Asian guy before.
I've dated Asian.
And I had, which was the funniest thing because he was like, hey, I got 6 kids and
6 kids. And
this is all on the first date. And so I was done. Like,
now that's not typical of their,
not at all.
One date dating.
Well, We went out on.
Oh goodness, that's a whole nother show. Because I do want to. That comes up often too. What is considered?
We went out on 2 dates. And then he told me that he enjoyed recreational drugs, all of them. So
like cocaine, heroin.
He was like, so do you do anything? I was
instead
like,
of casually
no.
like that?
And he was like, well, I was like, so what do you do? He was like, I mean, I do a little bit of everything.
That's a blessing.
What was he like into the EDM, the party scene, like the techno music?
I think so.
They do a lot of drugs at those like festivals. It's kind of heightens your experience from what I hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like how you said what I hear. Not from experience. That would be what I hear. That would throw me off, and that would probably be one and only date. Yeah. And no, one date is not considered dating in my. That you went on a date.
I went on a date
with
2 dates. I went on 2 dates.
Then that's dating. No. Dates? You went on 2 dates.
I went on
what
2
made
dates.
you go back?
I would say 2 dates.
Well, what made you 2 dates?
I didn't find out anything.
3 dates make dating.
3 dates is for sure dating.
3 dates is dating.
Yeah. 3 dates is dating.
Because most people, I say, most people, are having sex about the second or third date. So, at that point, you definitely.
Wow.
Okay. If you had sex with them, you're dating.
I mean,
I'm asking.
Y'all established a little relationship.
A little one. You right about that one.
You established something.
You posited something.
So, wait. Now I have that question. Then, so you went on a date. It was but now you don't.
No.
And by choice or just by you realize through those experiences that you're not attracted?
I'm just not attracted. And I think, and a lot of that not being attracted has to do with a lot of my own personal hangups with dating interracially. But for the most part, I'm not attracted to white men.
But interracially dating is always. It's not
well,
just I hate when people say interracial dating. No. To just
and that's why I paused to say I would date a Hispanic or other ethnicity. I'm not attracted to white men though.
So listen.
Is that? Go ahead.
I have a question. So, Africa is a big continent, right?
It is.
So, would you call that? Oh, as long as he is African, or because I don't want to say.
What is white African from Africa?
What if
let's call it
a white man? That
Africa.
No,
they really don't like blacks in South Africa. They really bad out there.
No. But see, what I'm saying is like, okay, so if he's from Nigeria, would you say you're dating outside?
A white man from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still outside.
So you just black and beautiful.
That's black, not where he's originally from.
Black and beautiful.
It is.
Okay, that's what's up.
And you, Blaze?
I'm quite the opposite. I probably have exclusively only dated interracially for the last 4 years.
So when you say exclusively dated interracially, is that your preference, or do you have a feeling? Why is there that just solely has been your preference?
Well, my situation is a little bit different. I'm a taller, athletically built, objectively attractive black guy. So what that means?
I love that.
I'm serious.
Objectively attractive black guy.
And you're
levels.
Different.
No, I'm serious. There's different levels. You got a black guy who's attractive, the only black woman I found attractive. Then you got a black guy that you can be in San Diego and the Asian girl's talking to you, or you could be in Chicago and the white girl's hitting you, or you could be in New York and the Latina girl's giving you her phone number. So in that circumstance, for me, I have just been given a lot of opportunity to explore things outside of my race.
Because you're so attractive that all races like you?
Not just that. I'm just speaking specifically
for
on
yourself.
Facts. I'm just telling you the facts, right?
About yourself.
Yeah. So
okay.
So in the context, I'll give you another example too, right? So in the context of white and black interracial dating, when I used to be fat, so I used to get no girls, and then all of a sudden, I leaned out.
What you mean? Say that again.
No, so I used to be a fat guy, so I didn't get.
I see what you're saying.
So then I got leaned out, and I'm 6'2", roughly about 250, but I wear a large shirt and a 36 size pants, so I'm a real lean, good looking guy. And the biggest correlation between interracial dating as that pertains to white and black couples was sports. So for me, whenever I travel, you meet a lot of D1 athletic white girls everywhere you go. So I get that audience everywhere you go.
What kind of sports do you play?
I used to play football in high school. But what I'm saying is like when you have that, you know, that taller, leaner, you know, square jaw, athletic look, you're gonna get hit with like the smoke. Like your caliber of what you're gonna get is gonna be way different than the average guy.
Okay.
So basically I get the opportunity at the highest end of the other ethnic groups. In addition to that, I live in Chicago where our black class of women may not, you know, compete per se with the crowd you see in Atlanta or DC or New York. Okay. So it's like we got the best looking Midwest, you know, Big Ten girls, and it's like we don't really have the best looking HBCU girls in Chicago. Who are
okay, listen. Okay.
So that's kind of like led to me systemically being. Girl. Well, no. There's like a real thing. This is a real thing. Like there's like a.
Where are you hanging out at? Because
how old are you, brother?
I'm 29. Like, I ran the Chicago Marathon.
Okay.
I've done the Chicago Marathon. I've done CrossFit. Like I do a high intensity boot camp gym I go to, and ultimately I meet people based on my lifestyle. So me and the black girl from Atlanta were talking about this as well. Like she came to Chicago and there was just two of them, and they were like, "Man, where y'all black runners at?" Because they like in Atlanta, there's a young black running community, and in Chicago, you know, it was overwhelmingly white. So when you
there is a huge black
running community.
Yeah. Like you have to seek it out the same way you sought out the white. No. Running.
When you run a marathon, you have to.
Listen, my friend is a part of a full.
Yeah, it's called Black Girls Run.
Yeah, it's a 3-day. They've done that where they run the entire length of the city for 3 days.
I've seen it.
And they're a team.
So I've seen it. So
I have like.
But you got to look at numbers though. You can't just say.
But they exist.
No, I'm not saying they don't exist, right?
He's saying there's more of them, and that would probably say there's more white runners than black runners.
I have black friends who went to Northwestern, right? But if you ask the black person who is a Northwestern MBA how many blacks are in your class, they're gonna be like, man, it may be less than 5% of us, you know. So when you get that number cumulatively and you add it up, it becomes a lot more of other people than there is of you. And then when you bring in like the most upwardly mobile in the Midwest, like half them girls in Lincoln Park, dads are like doctors and stuff. So when you bring in that highest of that social economic status, who rich men marry good looking women, they have trophy wives, and you get like the best of the best in Chicago. Are we talking about context of interracial dating? I mean, Chicago's white and some of the Latinas, they go head to head with what you can get in New York and what you can get in Houston. Whereas in Chicago's black women, in my opinion, don't come close to what I've gotten in like Houston or Dallas or like DC. So that's why I have been. And then you got to think too. I grew up. All my brothers got baby mamas. Like, you know, they all got 3-4 kids out of wedlock. So for me, seeing that and being involved in the lower social economic classes in the inner city, I was hyper exposed to like gang activity, and I know about all the 75th Street. I've been to all the spots, and it's like now, if a girl want to hit me up to hang out in the West Loop, who has her 2-bedroom condo, like I'm going to obviously be in a more safer situation. I'm gonna put myself in the more safer situation. So for me, in this,
let's just pause right there.
That's kind of been
because you're giving, you're saying, but not saying that all black women are the hood chicks.
Well, they're not, but they're not. But so
and the majority of them aren't hood chicks either. Not. So
I was reading this book, right, called Labor of Love, The Invention of Dating. And one thing I learned was like the creation of cities, right? And it was really helping me understand what I was going through. And it was basically saying how, like, with the creation of cities, you meet people kind of based off your hobbies, your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Because telling me that, yo, go to the Hyde Park Brew Fest to meet sisters is like, yo, well, and when I get there, these girls are going to be like fit girls, like, because if they are into fitness, why can't I meet them through my hobbies and activities?
Okay, I will
agree with what you said. You meet people in your social
I've been listening. And I think you're on the ball. You're on the ball. But because of what you went through, you're basing those ideals off of your experiences prior to you doing the weight, and working out and stuff like that. Because to me, it's like, okay, you're taking what you went through out on a group of women that you really don't give a chance.
Well, so you got to think about this though. Like see me, like I've actually, I've actually like seen people pull out guns on people and been to clubs where they've been shooting. So it's like, if you got to,
but again, that is where you're going.
A female.
If you go to the hood, you're gonna see hood stuff.
What I'm saying is, like, if you got the option, you got two girls. One lives in the South Loop, one lives in Streeterville, and then one lives on South Shore, right?
But isn't it based on how she treats you and not where she lives?
I'm trying to tell you. So I read this book called Influencer, right? And one thing you're gonna learn, there's like social, there is structural, and there's environmental forms of influence. If I got a girl who lives in Streeterville, I can take her to a bar. I can take her to I can take her to her headquarters in the River North. I could take her to a rooftop, and I could walk her home,
bro.
In a bang, bang, bang fashion like that,
bro.
Line them up, knock them down.
If you was
but
still,
you could not. If a girl is on the south
if you was
side,
still overweight and you wasn't getting,
you can go to the same place. You like going to
traffic, like it's
you just want a convenience, girl.
You want the convenience of
girl. Tell me this.
And see, I think one second.
So
because you're posing your argument to be what the stereotypical interracial black male dater is. The white girl is your trophy. She validates you not being able to pull the type of girls that you wanted to pull. You said it more often than once that, she's got to be fit. But were you pulling that when you said you were overweight?
No, when I was overweight, he changed his whole perception based on what he did.
For myself.
So if he changed what he did and mentally to just okay, that's something different. But we're not saying nothing wrong with your something different, but you cannot
Base
put
the
your feet
on it.
on the black woman.
I don't.
To a certain extent, because
you
and your fantastic words is one thing, but what you're actually saying when you read through the what you're saying is, man, I don't really like them like that. They hood chicks. I'ma die if I date somebody.
I can't walk her home. She's not gonna be She's not gonna be fit.
Man. And I'm talking about, bro. Think about this. I come from the low end of Chicago. The low end consists of everything north of 53rd, 55th, or however you want to put it. Right. Some of the most beautiful black women I've ever seen came across. My mom is from down there. Half my family is born and bred from down there, and they are just beautiful women because of the experiences and everything that they went through, and the accomplishment and the goals that they set for their kids. That's the product of what you are right now. So don't dismiss.
I'm not
to a certain extent.
So look. There's no Orange Theory on the South Side outside of Hyde Park. Like there's no.
But what does that have to do with dating a beautiful woman?
And we just had this conversation.
I just don't see many fit girls on the South Side.
So Black and I just had this conversation driving in.
I think Chicago's a very bad market for this. Let
me just finish. Let me finish.
Is really off.
We were driving in and we were saying, similar to what you just said, that on the West Side we were just comparing like places to hang out, and the West Side does not have hangout venues per se, but that's the beauty of being cultured and understanding what the entire city has to offer, because I don't just hang out on the East Side, I don't just hang out on the South Side, I don't just hang out on the West Side, I hang out in the entire city based on what I want to do. Right. I don't let parameters limit me to what I'm going to do and who I'm going to meet. I understand that even in the hoods of hood, you got Pill Hill on the South Side. That is a community of nothing but affluent black people.
It is.
Affluent black people.
It is.
With affluent black children that they're raising. And you have Jack and Jill, which children come from all over the entire city with parents that are affluent. So to say that you have to be in Lincoln Park where your dad was a doctor who's breeding.
It's safer.
Well, I mean, even if it's safer,
you could get shot anywhere. You get ran over.
You can drive into Lincoln Park. I'm not saying you. I don't go anywhere in the city and just hang out outside and say, "Hey."
Lincoln Park per se, but I'm just giving you an example.
And statistically, almost likely to get robbed and sexually assaulted on the North Side.
Well, women are. I'm a 6'2", 250-pound guy. People don't come up to me.
Well, I mean, you're saying it's safe for you, but it's not safe for a woman on the North Side.
I'm not saying it's not safe.
Of any race.
There is no gang culture in the context of downtown Chicago.
How do you know that?
Because I know that because I work.
How do you?
Well, downtown, I'll give you downtown, but the north side of Chicago.
I mean, when you go far north, but there's no.
No, not far north. As soon as you hit the north of the outskirts of the north side, you are infiltrated with gang activity.
Like there's no gang sets in the West Loop. There's like no.
How do you know that?
It's just not there.
Do you know what the West Loop was?
To come down there to work and still gangbang.
I'm just keeping it real.
How?
I want to ask.
I work in the South Side, right? So I drive through the city quite frequently.
The city is the city.
As well, I'm gonna say Chicago, and then we're gonna first off, one thing I like about people in New York, that's a little different than in Chicago, is that they preface the city in New York differently. Like they only refer to Manhattan as the city. Like they say, I'm going to the city, I'm going to Manhattan. That's it. So we're gonna take Chicago and say we have Chicago, and then we have the city, and we're gonna refer to the city as our professional downtown neighborhoods, like Old Town, Gold Coast, Street.
We're not, because that's true to
that's
Chicago.
like the city. That's the city.
That is maybe true for New York, but here
in Manhattan, like that's
if you live in 606,
that's the city.
Area code, you're in the city.
Manhattan, New York.
That's how they
Houston,
even black people.
Atlanta.
Even black people in New York are like, no, Manhattan is the city, and that's it.
We're talking Chicago.
Chicago, downtown, Streeterville, Gold Coast.
But you can't
That's
take
the city.
No, you can't take you cannot take a mapping.
That is the city.
Chicago.
What do you call it?
No, you cannot take
So
a mapping for
basically,
another
what he's
state
saying is
and
he's
transfer it to our
separating
state.
the better parts of our great city and
Making
saying
that
that-
neighborhood
city.
over here, bad, ghetto, hood, I'm gonna die, gangbangers,
I'm not saying I'm
guns.
gonna die, but
I mean, because in so many words, it's just because you're scared.
yeah, I am
You are
fearful of my
afraid.
safety. You damn right.
You
I don't
are
mess around.
afraid.
People, my friends be like, I'm going to President's Lounge. I'm like, you going where? Let me know how that was. Talk to you tomorrow.
But is some of this based on your feelings of who you date, based on your experiences when you were younger?
Absolutely, that plays a role into it. Like the energy of people that you've been introduced to ultimately influence you, whether you like that or not, throughout your life.
So where did you grow up at though?
I grew up in multiple different places. I went to high school in the south suburbs. But see, the black people.
Wait.
No.
What south suburb?
I went to. Wait, we can that?
No, because you speeding past it.
Okay.
I'm asking a specific question.
Okay, I'm gonna be very frank. I went to high school in Tinley Park, right? Tinley Park's a 90.
You went to elementary school where?
Tinley Park is a 90-something% white neighborhood, right?
Right.
However, the high school in Tinley Park is different because ultimately what they do is all the black people there come from like Markham and Harvey. So in that context, yes, you live in Tinley Park. Your neighbors.
So how do you get a high school, a community that's 90% white?
He didn't like
and where are their
his
children?
upbringing too much.
So what happens
He
is
wanted to change.
So what happened was
And it was a whole thing with him. I don't like baby mamas.
I don't like baby mamas.
I don't like where I come from, and I want to change.
Yeah,
if I can change me, I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's just like, oh man, bro, you just need to try it. Just try it.
No, I think it's limit exposure. You're not going to tell me that you lived in a 90% majority community, and what happens to second generational middle class kids is that they're raised and born in communities that are interracially mixed.
No, Tinley Park is not like that.
Let me finish. You just said it's 90% white community, right, which means that your exposure was within the 90% parameters. So you don't have a black experience. I'm sorry.
Let me break this down for you.
I believe
Let me break this down.
He's been around people that have had a black experience.
No, I believe
he's not had a black experience.
I've had a black experience.
Because the way that he was, he wanted to be. Okay, it's just like this. An animal smells fear on a human, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with us as human beings. We smell fear. Now, the fear comes from that you don't want to be exposed because your mom didn't want something better for you. I ain't mad at that.
Well, y'all don't even know. So there's this thing called social economic class. So first off, to preface, Tinley Park is a city, it's a south suburban city. Well, they have 3 high schools. They have 2 or 4.
Wait, let me just pause. Let me just pause.
I'm gonna break it down.
I want you to break it down, but because I don't want you to continue to offend.
I'm not offending. I'm educating. I feel like you all are.
That's offensive.
I feel like
just speak.
Being openly
I have a whole master's degree. I'm a whole professor.
I think
now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the
but
thing.
You have to be physically fit.
Just speak.
You have to be fit.
Just speak your truth. Don't offend.
Okay, so this is my truth.
Just speak your truth.
I'll speak my truth. So Tinley Park has 3 high schools. There are 2 who are upperly mobile, like they rank in the top 100. There's another one that's like in the bottom 50% of the state.
Which one did you go to?
The one that was in the bottom 50% of the state.
Why?
Because that's the neighborhood we lived in. There was it's called Old.
So you lived in the hood in Tinley Park.
Comparison to the rest of Tinley Park,
there's no hood in Tinley.
If I were to go, I went to my high school 10 reunion. I went to Denver, Colorado. And this white girl says, you went to my high school? She said, you got to be upwardly mobile. Nobody leaves there. This is you go to the part, these white people ain't no doctors, they ain't no lawyers, they ain't no salespeople. They are cops, nurses, teachers, tradesmen.
So that's
so
bad.
What I'm saying, I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying is,
it sounds like you're knocking
what black people get misconstrued is they hear a neighborhood that's white and they think that every white neighborhood is Hinsdale. Everybody has a Ferrari. No, that's only
you just said that.
Only 5% of
we never said that. You
but
just said.
What I'm saying is
Lincoln Park is full of doctors.
Oh, like Lincoln Park is the
affluent social economic families. That's what you said. We never said that.
Neighborhoods in the country.
And guess what?
The country. Like
I have several friends that are black families that own property in Lincoln Park.
I believe you. I'm not saying they don't have it, but what I'm saying is, so when you go to a high school where your only black crowd is from Harvey and Markham, hell, you might as well live in Harvey and Markham because that's the only black people you're interacting with.
So your preferences are based on your experiences.
So when you come from
materialistic things,
it's not material. It's safe.
It really is.
All of my brothers are baby mamas. None of them are married. They all have like
maybe that was their choice.
And that's the fault of black people or your parents. I mean, where does that turn?
But all I know was I did something different, and I'm in a situation where I don't have baby mamas. I don't have illegitimate children. So I was able to.
But that was your choice, bro.
Safer and a more respectful situation.
All those are choices that you made.
Let me go to the group and see what we have here.
Oh man, it's people in the group.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna start with Stacy. Stacy says, "Lift up your dark hue woman.
Shout out. Hey,
if she has fallen, the men are not in positions you just stated. The statistics, we all need to get on that level." Lena says, "Did he?" I don't know what you said at that moment. But Giovanna says, "His nose is up in his bleep, bleep, bleep. Really?" And then Lena chimed back in and said, "Sure is." Sherry says, "Some folks are open-minded and some aren't. You can't condemn black women as a whole because you ran into closed-minded people." Keenan from the group, hey Keenan, what does this have to do with dating? Stacy says, "Your preferences is fine. That's a choice." But his story explains it as a self-esteem issue and gave up on the black community when he got his ideal body type and doesn't care for black women. And then we have another. Sherry chimed in and said his black experience was so negative and disappointing that he has condemned anything that mirrors just that.
So I somehow feel it. Do you believe that at all, that maybe some of your experiences could have shaped how you feel about black
absolutely
women?
And then your father died at a young age, and having to grow up and listen and rely on women was like the worst thing ever. Like I would.
What time did
I would never wish anyone to lose their. When I was 2, I would never wish a kid to have to be raised by a woman because it is the worst experience. When you get to your manhood,
all kids got to be raised by a mother.
Single by a mother only.
Oh, okay.
When you get to your manhood and you start to like figure things out, you're gonna be highly upset. You're gonna be like, man.
Okay, I beg to differ. I grew up. I was raised in a household. Well, my mom and my father, they got divorced, split up, or whatever. And to me, a man is a man. If you're a man, a true man, you're gonna run the house. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be no issue because your mom, she gonna see that in you. Oh man, this is a young man, and you doing necessary things for her to ensure to give you your space. It's not like I don't know, because to me, bro, it's just like I hope, man, you find what you looking for.
Cause I do. I be very content with myself.
Like, but hopefully you don't end up on the wrong side of it.
The reality of the situation is, it's like it's kind of a little, soft a little bit, because it's just like you don't want the confrontation, and it's gonna happen anyway. You're gonna run into that wherever you go. I don't care how much you try to hide from it. You still have that skin color that you have.
I love it.
That's cool. That's cool. But at the same time, it's like you can't use that as a way to evade the whole situation. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody has love. Everybody is looking out for one another. And it's a shame that in our community that we have to deal with that instead of self-love.
I have a lot of self-love, actually.
But not for your people, though.
I do. I mentor black kids.
You mentor kids?
Lord help the kids.
But see,
so what's your story to the kids?
It depends on the situation. Situational mentorship. So it depends on what.
So what do you tell them
we got school, we got school, you got dating, you got health and fitness, you got a whole general well-being that makes up a person that you kind of guide and mentor people as that.
But I hope you're teaching these young men to love and love where they come from.
Yeah,
see, it's not where you from, it's where you at, bro. It's like at the end of the day, man, where you come from and what makes you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just because you got your esteem up and everything like that, that don't mean that you talk bad about the where you came from.
No, I don't talk bad about everybody.
I mean, no, to a certain extent, it's like you like soft shoeing the whole situation. It's just like, okay, I could be from the hood, but I'm not from the hood, but I don't like the hood, but I don't like the women in the hood, but I'm not saying I don't like them. It's like, come on, man. Like, what is your deal? Like, honestly, at the end of the day,
I can remember.
I think also, I'll be honest with you too. So when you start dating, interracially, one thing you're gonna start to realize is that you're gonna start dating a lot of girls who grew up in 2-parent households. So their economic upward mobility is gonna be a lot higher. And when you start to date interracially, like I went out with a lady.
Wait, well, let's pause. Are you looking for a come up?
No.
Are you looking to position yourself financially?
I went on a date Wednesday.
Because every date you reference right back to economic status.
I went on a date
right. I want to hear with
a lady. She came from a big 4 accounting firm. We went out and we split I paid for myself, I paid for herself, and we get to see each other again. When you get that experience, when you're starting to float like that is a different level. And when you get to
float, she paid for herself and you pay. Oh, okay.
People do that all the time.
No matter what the color.
XD1 softball player, by the way.
Man, bro, the man's supposed to pay, bro.
No, that's
not
sexist.
His thing.
That's sexist. Paying for dates is a very
sexist. What's wrong?
Well, I did some more reading and I educated a little bit more, and ultimately what I had learned was that women wage inequality started because men gave them money to work to help the household but not provide themselves when they sent men off to war, and it was a big group of women in the workforce first entering. That's how wage inequality started. So ultimately, me paying for a woman is really playing into that social construct which oppresses women. So for that reason, I think it's sexist as a man.
He is a poster child of the millennial kid.
But I get you, bro.
I can't go into the boardroom and I can't go into the boardroom and say we should pay everyone equally if I'm paying for all the days.
So here's my question.
When I go out for a lady and she splits everything, oh yeah, pay them. We got to be even.
Here's my statement. I've listened to you.
Yeah.
You've referenced the people in your family.
Yeah.
You've referenced communities you've been exposed to.
Right. That makes a difference.
And
I ain't one of the Cosby's and I ain't go to Hill. I mean,
let me finish up and where you were raised. Exposure and raised are two different things. And then when you talk about dating, it is reference. You've talked about social. Let me finish. Social economic statuses.
Yeah.
And so it looks to me that when you take all of your experiences, you are being very calculating in how you position yourself for the future.
Yeah.
So dating someone from this social economic background, paired with what you've grown to attain.
Right.
You're saying that this dynamic 1 + 1 is going to equal what you want for your future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's wrong with just saying this is my preference and not saying this is the bad in the black community?
Well, I think fundamentally, when you look at what they don't have, it's
you're black, right?
I am black, but when I look at black women as individuals,
can you say we?
Well, I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
Black women have?
Well, they don't have a lot of fathers. I mean, statistically speaking, how many black kids are born out of wedlock? It's atrocious. Have you tracked the statistics since 1910 to the 65 to now? It's like 3/4 of black kids are born without fathers, right? So when you look at that,
then your community, your millennial community has more black men in their lives than any other generation we've seen in the past. So that's not been your experience.
So when you get there, right, you got all these girls who grow up.
He's hurt.
With these lesser upward mobility opportunities, you can't play tennis as a kid. You can't be playing. You're not playing soccer. Tennis, you're not any extracurriculars because your parents.
Have you seen the tennis court in Little Park?
Let me tell you. I'm telling you at Mass. I read the statistics on the NCAA. Division 1, 2, and 3 women's sports were roughly 75% white. It was like less than 10% black. And black males were significantly more represented in college sports than black women. So there's not even enough black women in college sports.
Do you know how crazy you sound? I'm just saying. Let's pause there. Do you know how crazy you sound throwing off those statistics and not throwing out the statistics of the exposure of those same sports in those communities in the high school in order for you to play?
Upper mobility.
Single parent households you end up at a hood school, right? Your mother wasn't upper mobility to take you.
It has to be offered.
Across
the basketball is
your mama didn't take you across the street to the other high school, so she wasn't upper mobile.
No, she couldn't afford to.
Tinley Park had all those sports. Tinley Park High School
not Tinley Park. They didn't even have guys volleyball.
Well, that's just because they didn't have guys volleyball. But what I'm saying, Tinley Park is not a.
You just like white culture. Period. These are all of the things you attribute to white culture that you like.
And you're a single parent household, statistically proven, cannot have access to what people have who have two parents who are entrenched.
That's not true, bro.
It's not true. But I mean,
speaking, how many
whatever article you read is true, so that's fine.
So help me understand. How many people do you know who grew up? Just think about it this way. If a black community, we live in, is significantly led by single women, right? Based on statistics. And you don't meet a lot of doctors and lawyers who are just single mamas, like baby mamas. So who's really out here having...
My entire black health team is black.
I get that.
My primary care, my breast doctor, my gynecologist, my dentist.
I get you.
And they all own their own
Do you like black women?
I have no. I helped them out.
No, I'm saying
do you like them out? Yes. Do you like them?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I like everybody.
No.
No.
Do
so
you
do you like black people? Period.
Yes, I'll hang out with black people.
Only if they have both parents.
No.
Stop.
No. You got to listen to what he's saying. He said, "I hang out with them."
Yeah,
he does not see himself as black. No, I hang out with us.
I'm pro-black.
You're not pro-black.
You're not. As a means of coming up.
You are black.
He uses his black.
But you have removed yourself from the entire black culture.
Because black American culture, in context or comparison to black African culture, aren't the same thing.
Okay, let's do this.
African culture and black culture is not the same.
Let's do this. Let's do this. 1960. No, we're gonna go back. 1955. Right. They instituted these categories. Right. Negro. We all know about the Negro, right?
Yeah.
Before then, it was colored people, right?
Yeah.
After the Negro, we started going to like the 70s. Then that's when you was black, right? Now, all of these different names to these type of people, that does not describe that people.
No.
That is like an adjective, right? So we're gonna take all that out the conversation right now. We're gonna stop all this. That's number one. Number two. I sit and I listen to you, and I can't help but think about how. And you say you talk to young men, young African boys,
young black, mentor young men in general.
Okay, so black is the color. This right here,
but
this
in
fabric
America,
is black.
Due to slavery,
we're not on slavery.
Robbed of our ethnic heritage.
We're not on that.
Africans
right now, with all those books you read, with all that books, all those
then
books
you say the African culture is much richer, but then you totally recognize that our culture was stripped from us here in these Americas of the United States.
Let's bring this back to dating. Let's bring it back to just not.
But ultimately. You can't just when you look at
the group is calling you a gold digger.
No, when you look at the cumulative package that you put together,
because he's using his blackness to come up. That it's too
hard. The white girls want a black stomp.
It's too hard for you to exist with your own people because now you become in a lower percentile of your own people. No. So let me finish. So now when you take your blackness, yourself, your African, whatever you want to call yourself, take that out and put that over there with the Caucasians, with the Latinos, with the Asians and all that. You become an oddity. You become an anomaly, right? Because you could talk real good. You done read a lot of books. You done immersed yourself into the Caucasian world of speaking and conjugating your verbs, and you know how to play a little sports and here and there. So what they're doing, brother, ultimately what they're doing is they treating you. They're playing you. You steal the N-word to them. It's nothing that's different. You might think that you're different, but you still the same. No, it's nothing about you that's different.
I'll be honest with you. So for me, as a very athletic individual, dating I like athletic women. So typically I date other athletic women. And if you look at D1 sports, I mean, you could just look at it on TV.
How do you keep relating sports to your athletic women?
I feel them though, because at the end of the day, it's just like
all the Sarahs in the world are not playing volleyball. They're just naturally running since they were 5.
This was crazy because my people, when y'all playing those D1 sports, whether it be lacrosse to basketball, all those Caucasian women are just tagging along for the payday. Call them your trophy, bro.
But you're their trophy too.
No. He just a check. He ain't nothing but a check. No. At the end of the day,
you have to look at it this way. If a girl has played D1 sports, ultimately she's been working out for years.
But you don't play D1.
You just want a fit woman. So can it be a black fit woman?
But how many of them is there?
It's enough.
So you're not looking
how many other races are you dating? How many of
them is it? Tell me in Chicago. Y'all got 10 black fit friends?
Yes.
You got 10?
Yes.
I honestly have more than 10.
Females?
Yeah.
Where they work out at? LA Fitness? Planet Fitness?
What? Because
what's the shame with the LA Fitness, Planet Fitness?
Well, ultimately,
it's where the black people be.
Well, let me tell you. So
the money. It's what they pay for the membership.
Y'all don't know.
Y'all don't know. They pay for
that much money.
Look. It's not. But let me break this down to you. So gyms like LA Fitness and Planet Fitness, big boxes at that price, make their money because most of their members are not active, right? So me being in the fitness industry and having studied this stuff, approximately 80% of their people don't go regularly, right, to the gyms at Cardinal Fitness and LA Fitness. But they pay that amount of money. So only a very small.
So he's strategic about his goal digging path. You see that? That's a black-owned gym.
One of the top CrossFit
in ladies, the South Loop. This is a black-owned gym in the South Loop.
One of the top CrossFit ladies, Elizabeth, I forgot her name. She's from Minneapolis. She's black. However, statistically, when you look at how many of them run in that circle, you're gonna be like, okay, I got her, I got Serena, I got Venus, but show me 20, show me 100 more of that. Show me 100. I've seen the statistics.
So you want the numbers of women, the volume to choose from.
Some people are not understanding of what it means to be in the smaller percentile and what it means to be outnumbered 100 to 1 in some context, depending on where you at.
So here's my question: you say you want a fit woman,
athlete too,
but you're not an athlete.
I am.
What sport do you play?
I play football.
Where?
High school. And
you're 30. How many years ago was that?
In addition to that,
what sports do you play now? So I feel like,
and I'll get really granular with you. I was recruited by a top basketball team, and I was recruited by the Illinois Warriors when I was younger. That was in the time that I was growing up. That was the number 3 AAU team in the country because their coach lived by me and wanted me to play for him. But you know why I couldn't go play basketball? Because your mama ain't got time to take you to get into the program.
You mad at your mother?
I told you.
Wanda, you and I have had this conversation.
I'm trying to tell you.
Most men who don't like us,
your single parent,
they don't like their mama.
No, I'm trying to tell you. So in addition to that, when you look at my top 4%, I was top 4 percentile in the country in math.
You need a hug.
6'2", 250. I have elite genetics, and I compare that with someone for the best chances of giving my kids where it needs.
So so Sherry said again, you embrace the resources from people in a higher tax bracket you can embrace the resources from people in a higher tax bracket without condemning those who don't have access to those resources. And it does kind of seem like you condemn the people who are not what you want.
Kids. What I'm saying is if you
was raised in a single parent household.
I read the statistics. Look, I know the numbers.
Your mother loved you in that single parent household.
Actually, my mom wasn't a single mom. She was widowed, so it's a difference.
No, it's single.
It's daddy is
Wait
a minute.
Widowed is different.
How?
She's still a single parent.
Absentee of the father.
Parent, but widowed.
Was your father there?
Her marital status is single. She was a single parent. Her parental status was single.
There's a difference between a woman who was married, thought process, and then a baby mama's process.
You just said there was no difference because she didn't let you do anything.
You said I said that you can't.
It was the worst. You said the worst experience you had was being raised in a single home.
See, now your qualitative statistics are kind of falling off.
I am repeating what you said.
No, you are, but you're not understanding. A woman who got married and then had children is gonna have a different mindset than a woman who just was a baby mama and felt.
How did you feel about your upbringing?
A woman who got married and had children is gonna have a different mindset
than just a baby mama who just had kids randomly. One, her mindset around reproduction is gonna be different. And two, when you get to
the situation.
Well, I mean, typically.
So if you met a black woman who was everything you're looking for, she grew up in a 2-parent home. Would you give her? Would you date her if she grew up with 2 parents? She played soccer. And she's in med school.
Thank you for saying.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. but you gotta realize that absolutely. But then when you get to that bracket, there's so few of them. The hell, I'm
not asking how many are them out there. I'm saying you meet her. Would you give her the time of day?
I'm saying statistically, you're not gonna meet them because they're like significantly outnumbered.
You're not gonna meet them hanging out where you hang out.
You never know. You're not gonna meet them.
How do you meet the women you date?
One or two black girls.
How do you meet the women you date?
Soccer, he opened up his laptop and get him off the dating site.
You know what I'm saying? They got to get off the football team already. They've already been schooled by like the guy who just got drafted. So you're not gonna get that girl because that girl is gone because she's significantly outnumbered by black guys.
I believe he's a dreamer. But when he was working out and he was doing this thing. It's safe to say that you had thoughts and emotions and dreams. Like when I get this body, I'm gonna get this type of.
I'm gonna get the girl I dreamed of.
Yeah, the high school cheerleader or the this and that.
D1 cheerleaders.
And that's no problem, bro. And the only thing that I'm saying is, and it probably will never sink in though, but at the same time, love comes in all colors, shapes, sizes, heights. Ethnic backgrounds, single parent homes, father and mother.
You gotta be careful with those girls from the single parent households.
I mean, no, you have to be careful.
Single parent household.
But listen,
why do you feel you're better than the other people in the same situation that you grew up in?
Well, see,
he took himself out of
it. He's right. I took myself out of it. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, what I'm saying is, I, as an individual, may be very woke, but you gotta be very careful with those girls who grew up with just their mamas.
You do know the girls you date somebody's white father and
I date Latino girls, Asian girls,
and her Hispanic father is telling her the same thing.
So what? I date other ethnic groups besides white people.
Without both parents in the home?
No, I never dated a girl of a different ethnic group.
I'm not mad at him about a lot of the stuff that he's saying.
Me neither.
I just don't like how you just categorizing and you just putting down statistically your own people.
Well, I mean, I do that. I have a problem with. I'm not.
That's the testiness. That's the aggression that you hear because it's just like.
And for many who date outside their race, sometimes black men and women probably, that it's not just that I date outside my race. Is that I put down the race I'm from? Is that so different? Why can't you date outside your race without saying that baby mama, single parents, they come from this and all of this, all the stereotypes? I could get jumped walking you home. You're not gonna pay for the date. You're not gonna. So then it doesn't seem natural. It doesn't seem like a natural preference.
Like you, if you look at statistics,
how many white or interracial male friends do you have?
I go to New York. One of my buddies stays in New York. He white. I would say half of my.
Where do you live?
I live in the city.
How many interracial friends?
Which city? The real city of your? I'm talking your version of the city.
In the city of Chicago.
Chicago. But no, I have a multicultural group of people I hang out with. I would say mostly black, but I got a few white friends and others that I would hang out with. I went to college, so my network naturally, as a result of that, in our more multicultural workforce will allow me to have a mixed group of people in my social circle. So yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? However, what I'm saying is you have to be very careful. My niece, for example, just recently got pregnant. 21, she's not married. The guy is like 28, walks around.
Your niece a baby mama?
She's a baby mama now. A lot of them. Quite a few of them. Me and my friends all have that situation, and it's because that absentee father figure. You have to be very careful because what happens is there's this thing called social conditioning, right? So you meet a girl who comes from the hood who had like one parent who probably didn't do a whole lot for her. She thinks that in her mind, it doesn't take much to have a kid. All you gotta do is let them watch some TV, chill out, drop them off at grandma's crib.
You to be exposed a little bit
more. It's gonna be all good. But
to positive black people,
and that's part of the issue too. But so there's a lack of that as well.
This is the problem that I'm having. I can only take so much before it's like, I'm like, oh, listen, bro, if you call yourself a man, right? Mm-hmm. You are the influencer.
Mm-mm. Yes, I ain't messing around.
No. What I'm saying, let me finish. You are the sole controller of that household, bro. I don't care what you saying statistically, the numbers, the books, and all that. I don't want to hear none of that no more. At the end of the day, you are the man. The good Lord put you on this earth, right? To run it.
I agree with that.
And you have to show yourself worthy.
It doesn't.
And you have to be able to handle that.
I'm not going to.
You get that Caucasian woman, and she will take you through. I don't care. Outside the race, bro. Outside the race. And what will happen if you come up with them same issues? She just wants you for your seed, right? You come up, do whatever you got to do, become a multimillionaire. She just wants you for your seed. Once you give her that seed, y'all marry, y'all doing it. You think you sitting on pill hood, boats or whatever, and she leave you, bro, and take half of what you got. Then what's going to be the difference? Your child would then be raised in a single parent home.
No, it won't.
You will be able to fight. Are going to be
culturally, they don't divorce.
No, they divorce.
I'm just asking his opinion on this.
No. In that social economic status, there definitely is a lot of divorce. It's overwhelming.
It's majority of their marriages in divorce.
What I'm saying is, in that context,
she's just gonna go to another rich guy.
There'll be two people. The father's
and that's gonna be it.
The father's still typically active in that situation.
Come on. So what makes you think that the fathers is not active in our community? That's crazy, bro.
I'm not saying. I know a lot of great black guy fathers. I have a close friend who takes his daughter everywhere. However, the woman he dates had no parents in her life, and he deals with a lot of issues and trying to get her to be.
But that's that man's preference, bro. That's what he chooses to do.
If you broken,
so you can't knock him.
I'm saying if you broken,
you're broken, bro.
No, I'm awoke. I've read. I've very well educated myself. I put my time in Toastmasters.
Okay,
I read my 10 books a year.
Because you work out, because you work out, because you like fit women.
I do
that doesn't mean that you don't have internal problems.
I'm a very happy individual.
Just because you're happy, that don't mean that you're hurting.
I can go out.
Are you hurting?
No,
he doesn't.
Are you upset that you gotta?
I'm just saying that I'm not Mr. Build-A-Bear. I'm not going to the shop and
But you really are. You really are a Build-A-Bear.
I'm not doing that. I'm not.
You have built yourself as a Build-A-Bear, and you are looking.
I'm not building you up.
No, you're looking for someone to continue developing your family as a Build-A-Bear. But Keenan says, somebody has your back. Keenan says a point, and I do agree. He is putting himself in a position to meet the type of woman he likes.
And that's fine. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I just don't like when you knock black women to do it.
I'm just saying,
if you want a certain lifestyle,
stereotypes.
What I'm saying is, ultimately, as a guy who's very experienced, and I am involved in the high-end fitness industry, and I travel and been to high-end fitness facilities
29,
in different cities.
Your experiences are just beginning in life.
I've been to different cities. And I go to a high-end gym. It's almost $200 a month, and those are the type of gyms that
everything's based on income.
Because it's a materialistic lifestyle.
My gym is $200 a month.
What does that mean?
He doesn't want an LA Fitness girl that's paying the $30 and don't go.
Well, she gotta go to the gym, but she gotta go to a particular type of gym. Well, she's gotta come from a particular side of this.
I'm gonna tell you what this is. This is the reason why I have. Know what this tells me?
What?
This is one of the hardest parts I have when communicating with black folks, specifically in Chicago. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Let them.
So the gyms that cost $200 a month, Orange Theory, those type of boot camp gyms. When you pay that kind of money, their member attendance
ratio. Do you care if they attend? If you're going there for yourself to get what you want out of it, why do you care who attends? If you don't have
yours, then you're not gonna get it. I'm not. Look. So if you pay,
be proud to be a gold digger, because that's what gold diggers do. They prey on the type of man. He is, because a gold digger, she preys on the type of man she wants.
No, I'm
he
not
drives a particular car. No. He lives in a particular neighborhood. He goes to particular gyms. He goes to particular bars, and that's where she positions herself.
Me personally, he's a classic example of a player.
I'm not a player.
Okay, listen. This is the reason why I'm saying this.
He's a gold digger.
No, he's a.
I want to say what I think about it, but I don't want to be. I don't want to hurt.
I'm listening to
be rude or anything about it.
I'm trying to find my words. That's why it's taking me so long to try to.
It's not even a goal. You know what?
He's playing the game, and the game is to win.
The game is to win, and
he wants to win. So it don't matter if he cheats a little bit. It don't matter if he cuts corners a little bit. It don't matter if he has to step on this one to get to that level. He's willing to take and do whatever it takes to get himself to that next level. But my thing is, the same people that you see going up is the same people that you're gonna see going down. And let's pray that you never fall short, bro. It's gonna crush you.
I recently helped a black woman get a major career opportunity, and she's so grateful for it. You know, she's very. I put her in contact. Had her do.
So wait a minute.
I'm not questioning people. I'm different. See, I believe in building and unleashing the power of human capital. So I believe that if I 50, 100 people who can do or better than me, well, then I got a good cushion to fall on if I ever need someone to help lift me up. So I'm not trying to be the only guy who has something. I think I have more as people around me have more. So if I have 10 millionaire friends, I got 10 potential business partners. If I'm the only millionaire, then who gonna invest with me besides myself? So my thought process for one is different. Now, in addition to that, as it pertains to the high-end fitness industry, people who pay $200 a month for their memberships typically go 4 to 6
But going to the gym has nothing to do with dating.
It's a lifestyle. It's lifestyle.
No. So Sherry says, stop the press. Lifetime Fitness is a freaking meat market. They go to work out in order to meet new dates.
How do you know she in the suburbs?
That's what you do. You just say that's where you meet your boo.
She's in the suburbs. Lifetime Fitness is not in the inner city. It's in the suburbs. It's like in Orlando.
Oh, I forgot you have your own cutoff of what is city.
No, but he knows
where do you live though. Where is your city?
I live in Chicago.
Oh, you live in Chicago, not the city.
We're gonna just keep it like that. We're gonna keep.
Okay, now I understand.
But in that context, I'm just saying you're talking to a guy who's been there.
At the end of the day, we could do this all day.
I know.
This is a great discussion.
I think Chicago's a very bad market to have this conversation.
So why?
I want to hear why though.
It's too many poor people.
I feel like one thing I like about the East Coast and that environment is that all of their ethnic groups are more socio-economically aligned at the same level. And I feel like in Chicago there's a huge disparity.
Because it's
so I think in Chicago
it's no diversity.
I think if you're in Chicago and you're a high-end, taller, athletically built, good-looking black guy, the chances are you're not dating black girls in Chicago, in my opinion. Whereas I feel like on the East Coast, in the DC, New York, I feel like you can be, Latino, black, anything really. But I feel like Chicago is just a different market.
And you and I had this conversation. On the East Coast, anybody can get it. So whether you a good-looking guy or not, you can pull whatever you want to pull because it is a smorgasbord. So there's no competition.
So I would say that Chicago. I feel like Chicago.
It's a free market.
I just feel like Chicago's market of people is a little different. I feel like cities and regions are a little bit different. It's like if you're on the West Coast and there's fine Asian girls, you got more probability. Or if you're in Houston, there's fine Latino women. I feel like Chicago's just not the city.
So what are you attracted to outside of
money?
She got to be educated.
Two-parent
she got to be.
I want to know. I want to know what your physical attractions are.
Oh, we know.
So look, so she
gotta run.
Yeah.
Oh, she has to be fit.
She gotta be fit.
She gotta
work out at least 4 days a week. A minimum.
Okay.
She gotta, be health conscious. Green smoothies. Very health conscious. Can't have her with the whole, fried chicken and macaroni, high carb, high starch, low nutrient diet. That doesn't work out. She has to be educated, both formally and continuously. I mean, this is Chicago. You can't really get a good job without. This ain't like the Northwest. You have to typically have a college degree to get a job in Chicago. She has to do self-development, and if she doesn't hit all 4 of those criteria, she don't exist to me. Period.
Okay. Yeah. So dating out, you are more classist besides just liking a certain race. Right. You kind of like.
It's just that in Chicago, in that class bucket, is significantly lenient toward non-black people. It's a strong Midwest professional influx into Chicago.
You need to move. You should move to the East Coast.
Yeah,
Northeast. That's going to be the next move. Yes. Because, Chicago, you can't compete. You got all the Big Ten and all that other just blowing your city up every year. And it's just like, no, most of the good-looking black girls in Chicago probably have.
You do know you're out of those D classes, right?
So you're 30. Old. You aged out of it. You talk like you're still in college.
D1, D2.
No, because
you're 30.
That's the.
Well, let me tell you. So I went for lady. She's also like 30, right? She played D1 softball, but guess what?
Y'all still talking about that at almost 30? Like
that's a major key thing. Women who play D1 sports date D1 guys because they have D1 offspring. If you look at people like Kyrie Irving's parents were. Play basketball overseas. If you look at a lot of these people, look at the guys in the Golden State, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. A lot of these people, there's a genetic portion of reproduction. So women who've been in that arena, they also have a thought process around that what that looks like. If you play,
a lot of them have been very strategic, like you are.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
We do have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Jamel Lashley says, why does it always seem like black men are lambasted when they date or marry other women, specifically white women, but sisters are praised for it? Why the double standard?
Because
Go ahead, Wanda. Go ahead.
One reason is because of this. That it's not that I just don't date outside my race. Date outside your race, go. But then we always have the backlash of what we are not doing, having children out this or that. I don't understand. I don't quite get. If you have a preference and you want to date outside your race, go ahead. But why do we always have to take the brunt of what we're doing wrong, what we don't do for your preference?
Well, here we go. I'm gonna tell you how this works out. Ultimately, as you look at small town America outside of the upper income neighborhoods, most places are very segregated. So typically the cities in the inner cities are not so much. So if you coming from the hood where your one exposure has been a certain kind of way, and then you get to go into the cities where you meet other people of other groups who aren't that way. And there's just so many more people in different backgrounds. Your mind actually does sorting and categorization for you, whether you like it or not. Right. So you just stereotype people whether you're conscious of it. It's called unconscious bias. So you become unconsciously biased against people and groups of people based on things that
everyone doesn't, but you
right.
Do.
And ultimately that's why you get that way, because
that's how you got that way.
I think it's self-hate.
Yeah.
It's self-hate on a whole nother level.
Jamel's not gonna see it, but somehow, however people made you feel when you were younger,
and he's taking it out on his
maybe and when you were overweight and dealing with how black people may have dealt with you.
I'm gonna tell you this too. So another thing too, when you get to looking at black culture in comparison to the rest of the cultures, it is such a shame when you see at the national scale. I'm sorry, like, do you know that as blacks we are at the pure bottom of the social totem pole?
Yeah,
let me tell you.
It's by design.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
And it's so sad. And the biggest thing ain't all this design.
It's so sad because we did it
Why is it not by
design?
design?
You what it is? Support and infrastructure and family is this like the worst. Let me give you an example.
Let me just answer Jamel first. Jamel, we're not hating on black men dating outside of their race and then expecting to be blasted. Like Wanda said, I'm okay with black men dating outside their race, specifically white. I don't turn my nose up to it. It's just not my cup of tea. Where I have a problem, and what Mr. Blaze has done, is for every preference he's given, he's juxtaposed it with a negative stereotype against what he does not prefer.
And that's the problem. It's not what you do, it's how you're doing it.
Well, okay.
We don't have a problem with you and all of your statistics. It's the negative connotations that you associating and backing up your truths with. Take that out, but you can't, because you really hate that. You really hate that, and you hate that about your people. So in turn, we all come from the same thing. So it's a small piece of you that hates you.
No, I love me.
Huh?
I love me like Kanye loves Kanye.
Because it makes no sense.
Makes sense too.
Yeah.
You do.
It makes no sense, because you would not say the things that you're saying with the negativity that you bring with to back it up.
Well,
if
I had to make sense of
as one with us, if we were all the same
to a certain degree,
I had to make sense of what was
so
going on.
So we hear what you're saying.
So I had to read a lot of statistics and kind of like
we're not taking that away, but you being negative towards the sisters makes no sense. Only sense that it makes is that you're
I'm holding them accountable. I'm holding them accountable.
You're not.
What I'm saying is,
first of all, we don't need you to hold us accountable.
Holding people accountable.
Because you're holding us accountable juxtaposed to what your preference is.
My preference is.
Your preference.
You sound like you're
your
racist.
preference can be your preference.
Right.
You sound like you're racist.
Yeah, your preference is okay.
My preference is okay.
But don't hold me accountable to the standards that you prefer.
Well, that's I guess my bar is kind of high then.
Like, no, it's not your bar. It's your preference.
Your
preference is your preference.
Your preference is not.
I'm joking.
Okay, your name Blaze, right?
Yeah,
okay, so I want you to answer this question for me. Why do you put sisters down so much?
Well, I'm gonna give you an example.
Wait. Before we get into this, I need to go 1 second, please. 1 second. You're listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeart radio station, and we are talking about interracial dating, sort of. We're kind of talking all things that kind of go along with interracial dating. This is sponsored by Allstate Insurance, 7380 West 87th Street, 708-599-5100 for home, auto, and life. Talk to Salim El Mosa. Tell him I sent you, please. If you need insurance, call, get a quote. And and talk to Salim. 708-599-5100. We are talking about interracial dating, and it is interesting. So a question was just posed by Black. What was your question?
My question was to Mr. Blaze. Why do you put the Black women down so much?
Honestly, I don't think I do. I'll give you my take on some things. I have a brother, right? This is very interesting to me. This guy.
I don't need exampple. I need you just to answer the question.
Yeah,
why do I put Black women down?
Yes.
Just
That's
yours.
all.
What's been?
Why?
I don't think I put Black women down.
Why so negative?
I think I have a long list of criteria, and when I put my criteria together, which is my preference, I think that my list of potential Black suitors, women, get very short. So ultimately, in my bracket of what I'm looking for, it gets very statistically heavy in opposed to Black women. Just the bracket, just what I look for.
Why be so negative towards the Black woman if that's not your preference?
I'm kind of confused.
I think he's answered it in the only way he's answering it that he doesn't feel he is. He just doesn't feel he is being negative. So it's very hard to
I don't feel like I'm being. I feel like I'm being
change
very truthful.
We have two more comments.
Yeah,
two more comments. Keenan says, women should stop asking Black men why they date white women. Take it as their preference. We ask because we're always curious. The name of the show is He Said, She Said. So all things dating is what we're doing. We're not asking for the sake of trying
and
to
you had it wrong,
otherwise.
Let me change, I guess. I do believe in preference. I don't mind at all that he likes who he likes. The issue and what we're questioning is why he likes what he likes is based on him not liking something else, and that's what we're kind of more discussing is what has led to a preference. And that's not really a preference, in my opinion. If you have a preference, sometimes it's not based on experiences that have led you to have a preference. That's not a natural state. That to me, that's not a natural preference. If based on these experiences, now I have come to decide that I'm going over here. That sounds like something that needs to be healed and fixed. And then to find out what is your natural preference. I'm not sure you even really know then what your natural preference is if you're basing it on experiences, negative experiences that have caused you to respond by dating a certain way. And that's different than saying Black men don't date white women. I could care less about dating whoever is could care less. Yeah. I think we do. There are people who really have just natural preferences based on, I just really feel people do. I naturally am not. I don't have that preference. I've tried to see if, maybe is it just like, no, I just don't have that preference. So I get having a preference. I don't get when it's based on baby mamas. You were raised without your father. You were raised without, most of you all raised with, because then that doesn't sound natural.
Yeah.
It's based on stereotypes.
It's based on
that's based on statistics.
And that's okay too.
I didn't go to Morehouse.
Jamel, let's get this last comment. Jamel Lachey says, "Of course, sister, preferences are allowed. We just can't perpetuate bias to solidify our preferences. With that mindset, it would condition to think that way or blame an entire people for the actions of the few. There are only two possible reasons for his thought process. He either was conditioned to think as he does by the general consensus, media, etc., or he is blaming all sisters for his action. The line of thought is no different from the simp that manipulates sisters through bashing brothers." Yes, Wanda, exactly. I naturally love BBWs. Those are preferences.
Well, I guess all the women who don't go to the gym hit up him.
You like women, that's fine. So
I want to know the ratchetness of dating interracially.
What?
The ratchetness, like, so what do you talk about, especially like in the day and age that we're living in now?
Well, you gotta be. So one, we talking to me. You're talking to a guy who's, running a marathon, who, works out, who reads, who does development, and all this other. So my conversation and the women I go out with typically are, the same kind of accord. I'm not going out with like interracially dating some overweight girl who, works at McDonald's. That's not the class I'm going out with. So we're a lot more culturally aligned, and so we have a lot more like-minded conversations.
You're not culturally aligned.
Did you ever see the movie Get Out? I would like to know what did you feel about Get Out?
I thought it was a really interesting movie. I think that it was really interesting because it really reminds me of why those big D1 athletic white girls date like big, dudes like me because they like, man, have athletic kids. That's kind of like the thought process with the athletic girls.
So this brings
he
me back
sees it
to
as
slavery.
a positive.
He sees
it as a positive.
It's like a slave mentality.
Got a big buck here, gonna make some big buck children.
Yeah, Ruby over there. Ruby, she sure make good horses. I think we're gonna mate her with Alex, and we're gonna have us a good millionaire horse to run in that there marathon.
And he's proud of himself for being the one they choose.
So this is actually called, in the context of reproduction, it's actually called survival and replication, right? So when you look at that, women who have participated in that construct want guys who can give their offspring the best chance for survival in that construct, which would be someone who probably looks like me versus somebody who's probably like 5'5" and skinny.
But that doesn't mean that his kids will not come out to be 6'9", 260, run like a deer. I'm just giving you.
But that's just
you could have a child. You could have a child, and your baby boy could be 5'3".
Nah, I don't know about that.
Man, please.
Statistically speaking.
So here's my question: you get the girl who's athletically fit. What are y'all doing on a typical day? What's a typical night out with you on your interracial date? Where you going? What you eating? What you talking about? Besides, don't give me any statistics. What did you just do yesterday on your date? What you do?
We hung out in the West Loop. We bowled. We went to Federales. We had tacos, margaritas.
Me and my friends hang out at Federales.
No.
Just in case, because
Yeah. That you're on the wrong side.
Wait.
So we hung out.
He thinks we all hanging out at Pepe's.
We hung out in the Fulton Market. We bowled. We did something. She's ex-athlete, so they kind of competitive with that. So there's also.
I said not to mention anything athletic associated.
I ain't mad at the boy.
No.
That's sweet because it's a lot.
Or typically we'll go to
So did you do the throw, the frozen shot glass?
Did not do that this time.
Okay. So. As far as I guess you just totally on that side dating. You don't date anyone black, even if they fit your financial criteria. They said they pay for themselves on the date.
I would date black girls, but what I'm trying to say is the ones that I would date, I probably wouldn't get.
You said that. I'm saying right. if you probably wouldn't get.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get them. Mm-mm. They probably have already been taken.
Or they don't like you.
Oh, they don't like me for sure.
So the numbers are higher for you to stay in with the opposite.
Yeah, the numbers are like in your favor.
I'm not.
Is his name Andre? Is it pronounced Andre or Andrea? Andr.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a story. This is not. Don't get offensive. This is very real.
Andre.
So I was out like a few weekends ago on Sunday night, and I was talking to this black girl from Dallas.
Here we go.
I'll tell you what she said. She was really good looking too. And I was talking to her. She was like, I'm from Dallas. She said, in Dallas, you are considered a good looking black guy. And I used to live in Texas, so I kind of know that. She was like, if we were in Dallas, she said, white girls wouldn't even be my friend just because I'm talking to you. And the girls we were with were like eyeballing her. And she was like, they don't even like the fact that I'm talking to you right now. So when you like in that objectively attractive bracket, you going to get everything. You're not just limited. So you're really competing like at the more like global type of level. So that's what I'm saying. I may not be the best black guy to have in that.
They don't want you because you're black. You do know there'll be white people that don't want to date you because no matter how whatever you made bracket you put yourself to, I mean,
even when
they're not gonna like you.
Even when you in the South and you get in the upperly mobile, Latinas, like you gonna just get it. I mean, I'm just an objectively good looking guy. That's how it is. Asian girls, Latina girls, Indian girls.
So what's your pickup line? Or
my name is
you just look
Blaze,
good, so they just like you.
Jumper.
So I have situational intelligence that I use when I'm having conversations with women, and so I keep that kind of relevant to what's going on. But I always make it funny harder because I have to master the arts. Let me tell you one thing: you got to learn to date interracially. You have to master the art of witty banter.
Okay.
Like bantering, you have to master that. So if anybody's interested in like what you got to do to go out here, if you can master that, you can
date interracially, be witty.
So do you have the conversations that we had today? Do you have those type of conversations with you on your interracial dates about the black community or anything like that?
Make them feel like that's going to validate them. So I'm not going to tell them.
Thank you for not doing that. I appreciate you for not doing that. That's going to make them feel like it's going to validate them and give them like some type of track to talk with their friends about, and I wouldn't give them that.
Okay, I would like to say this. I did a whole bunch of modeling in my lifetime. I travel. I do a whole bunch of shows. I took a whole bunch of pictures and did a whole bunch of things. And I get what you're saying as far as our community is concerned and the problems that we have.
All right.
I'm not mad at you about, for the record, about your preference. I'm not mad at you about wanting to date outside your race. I'm also not mad at you for having the self-esteem that you have now that you have your target look, because you've been obviously working hard for that, and you want to get congratulated, you want to get paid, and you want the people to take notice of your accomplishments. I'm not mad at you about that. But what I'm kind of like with you with is the negative that you bring to the neighborhood from which you came. You come from that.
No, I don't.
Wait, let me finish. You come from that. That's what made you. Whatever your mom and your dad did to get you here, you came from that neighborhood, from that way of life. From you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Obviously, let me finish. So, with all that being said, it's astounding to me that your foundation is so over there, and you don't even show that love from whence you came. To me, that's hatred, because it's just like you don't have to put somebody else down because you want a better life.
No, I agree. But one thing I had to learn was there's different levels.
Because we know it's baby mamas
different
out here.
levels.
Yeah,
to
different
what?
levels.
We know the what we're going through in these neighborhoods. We
But
see
he
this.
didn't really grow. I mean,
So I'm gonna put it to you like this: there's different levels to the game. I got friends in the city who have never been outside of Chicago. They see me like, oh man, you traveling a little bit. You on the coast, East Coast, West Coast. What's going on? In their environment, their endorphins. To them, 75th Street is river. To them, that is like the show for them. That is everything. I've been waiting to show up for this fresh outfit tonight. So in that environment, that's happiness.
You need new friends.
But I'm giving you an example. There's different levels to this, right? So I can't culturally shift individuals to have the same cultural relevance that I have.
But we're not saying that.
That's a huge.
No, he was talking about being more respectful from where you've come from. It seems like there's this that
you can
you're
only do something
above.
respect people. I'm talking about respect where you come from, bro. Because it's just like you trying to disassociate yourself from everything that you know, and you treating it. It's like ooh, like a ugly baby. Everybody know the baby ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but that don't mean that you sit up and be
mean
the
you
one
go
to
out and
keep
be like, that
talking
ain't
about
my
the
baby.
baby.
So let me tell you. So in that context, I play a little bit ambiguous to avoid stereotypes and uncomfort. So, for example, just to give you something,
You are dark skinned,
What
6
ambiguous?
foot black man. There's nothing ambiguous about
no,
it.
what I mean is like, so I'll give you an
Okay,
example.
what? Yeah.
So I just say to you like, hey, where you from? I'm from I'm from some terrible area. You're gonna be like, whoa, you're gonna start to associate in your mind some things with that area to that individual before you get to know that person.
You do
Okay.
know when you go on these dates, when they see you,
You're still
they think you are from everything that you claim.
right. You may
But
feel like
you making-
you're better than,
Just
but
because
you're
they're
still
playing
looking.
nice to
Hey,
you
no.
at the moment,
Yeah, but you
they're
making people
thinking that
to the
something
key-
come up missing. It was a big black 6 foot, athletically,
They still gonna clutch their purse.
unbiasedly
They still gonna
handsome
look at
guy.
you
No,
gonna
no,
rob
no.
them.
Actually,
They still
check
gonna
his
treat
pockets.
you.
When I walk
Just
down,
because
when I walk
you're gonna be
downtown, women
black.
actually do not grab their purses. They actually smile at me. They actually give me like a smirk, smile.
You really feel you some different black man.
No, I'm not a different black man. I'm just trying to tell you
Right.
that
T'Challa from
I'm trying to tell
Wakanda.
you. I'm trying to tell you.
What are you trying to tell me?
That's my true experience. Like when I walk through the West Loop, I walk anywhere. Like women don't clench their purses. They typically like smirk or something like that. And I'm like, okay.
Because I'm
Why though? What is making you so different than the other
No,
ones?
there's a lot of
again?
black guys like that too. Especially like in my friends group. Especially.
So
I'm just saying there's a difference. There's different levels, right? Like me and my teachers talking about this in high school. We're talking about the difference between Jamie Foxx and Will Smith. We were saying like,
what's the difference?
he was saying that to the mainstream world, Will Smith is considered attractive by everybody, whereas typically Jamie Foxx is not. And that's kind of the bucket.
Like
that's
he's cross-eyed.
That's the
he's
bracket.
not attractive.
So that's something that my teacher was talking about. So there's this thing called objective attractiveness, right? And if you have that,
you like what you like, and don't like what you don't like.
But at the same time, it's like
I know a lot of guys on Southside that can't get a girl downtown.
Oh my God! If you find, man, if you find, right, if you find is I'm talking about a drop dead gorgeous, right? That gonna transcend everything, right? At the end of the day, everybody gonna think you're fine. But what's killing your whole thing is what comes out your mouth when you open it up. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like when I go out of town, they say, "Man, where you from?" I say Chicago. I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you make it every day? How do you do? And I have a business, so when I travel and I do my product thing and everything like that, they always ask, how do you survive?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you do that? So I get what you're saying, but I embrace that.
Let me tell you
where I'm from.
I used to live in Austin, Texas, right?
I just dodged bullets going to the airport today.
Let me tell you how bad Chicago's rep is. I live in Austin, Texas. Police said
you don't have to tell us how bad.
You know how
let me tell you. I told the police officers, I said, I'm from Chicago, bro. What is jaywalking? The cop said, you from Chicago? I said, yeah. He's like, how long you down here? So I live. He's like, man, we don't want no problems. I'm just saying.
Not no police, bro.
Honestly, you can get that from
That's because you're a big black man.
The cop said to me, they said, you're from Chicago? Hey, man, look, we don't want no problems. I'm just saying next time, could you not jaywalk? I said, Jesus. I said, the cops are that scared? I was living in Austin. I was talking to this girl from Africa. She's like, yeah, you're from Chicago. She's like, that's like a world-class city. Like people talk about Baltimore and they talk about St. Louis. She said Chicago is like.
We're running out of time.
Name me. Everywhere I go, when I tell people I'm from Chicago, whether it's North Carolina, South Carolina.
How'd you make it?
East Coast, West Coast, just got back from California. People are curious about Chicago.
Whether you're Blazer or
of media.
It's going to happen.
It's not just you.
No matter
it's just
wherever we are.
Where you at?
Yeah, of course, Chicago just has that rap.
For me to recap things, I think that, the economic upward mobility, I think the just general socioeconomic upward mobility in Chicago, in addition to like the gang culture. So we look at like all the amenities that you need in the environments, like the gyms, the restaurants. Like there's no restaurant. There's no
wrap up why you like
Southside.
interracial dating, because we're about to go off the air.
When you put together all that cumulatively, you're gonna be in a situation where there's just not many black people in that context.
Okay. There's not many black people in what you're looking for. Let's doing things economically, going to the right gyms, going to the eating the right food,
playing baseball.
I thought weights was weights. So even if in the $200 gym and the $30 gym, you still going to lift weights. They're going to have the same.
They're not going. They're paying and not going.
They're paying and not going. Most of them people who go.
Most of them, 80% are just paying and not going to the gym. Yes, for some reason that matters. I mean, because if you're going to the gym and you find the one girl that's in there, we won't even recap that. But I understand.
All right.
I understand. So yes, that makes sense based on the type of woman you're looking for. Right. The numbers for you in the city of Chicago is better off for you to date outside of your race.
I don't lean that way.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How's your mother feel about that?
It don't matter how she feels about it.
No, I'm asking. I know it doesn't matter. You still gonna date who you date.
I have to break it down to her and my grandmother as well. I have to break it down like here's what it is and here's the why. And that's what it is.
And they got to do what you want to do. Yeah, they have to accept it.
The other brothers of mine are baby daddies, and I'm not.
You've definitely done something a lot better than your
they just kept
other mother siblings just came back from jail. He spent the better part of his last 6 years in jail. And he's also like 3 kids deep with 3 different women, maybe 4 at this point.
Keenan, you have not lost an hour of your life. You actually have been exposed to a conversation that you otherwise wouldn't have never engaged in. And so I can walk away from that.
That's hurtful.
What?
But all right, Keenan, I see you.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I can say.
What does he want to know?
I can. No,
I don't know that. So
I definitely have had an experience that I otherwise walked away from.
To me, all right, Keenan.
Ask him why he feel that way. Let's be open-minded. Why does he feel like he's lost an hour of his life? What is he not getting that he wants to know? I think we should be.
I don't know.
You know what? Next show.
I like to look at things on the half full. And so it's a conversation you would have never otherwise sat and listened to in any other arena. But I mean, now you can say, oh, I heard someone and what their thought processes are. And
we all, and to me, I'm always learning. Mm-hmm. So if every situation you can take something and learn from it, and if you don't, then that's on you. But at the same time, to me, it was very enlightening because I really have never heard someone in flesh say some of the things you said
on what they believe
and really believe it wholeheartedly. So I like to be exposed. You've given me exposure to the type of people and how we think, and I like that. I like that exposure. I like to be exposed to different conversations, and it doesn't always have to be the same conversation about the same things we are used to. So to me, it's been very enlightening talking to you, Blaze. So
now I feel like I need to go out and have so much fun.
You've been listening, and he said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. So Blaze, thank you for coming today. Nemia, yes. Thursday, we're gonna see you out Thursday.
You will see me out Thursday.
All right.
It's a holiday weekend. Week.
Anything you guys promoting?
Okay, yeah. Sunday, on the 29th of this month, the last Sunday in this month, we're doing the Sip and Spit again. Yeah, poetry at its finest.
It's at Reds?
It's at Reds.
Where is it located?
6955 South Stony Island. We having a pre-mixer at 6 p.m. It's 6 to 10, and we don't close till about 12. So you can stick around, meet the poets, and come and feel your soul with.
And what's the address?
6955 again, Stony Island.
All right. And I want you to come out to the Come and Dateable on Thursday at Lakewood Bowl. It is 5125 Sauk Trail in Richton Park. We are going to have comedy, open mic, and then the game night. He said versus she said. Come on, ladies, we're going to do that. And thank you, Allstate Insurance, 7380 West 87th Street, 708-599-5100. Talk to Salim Elmosa for home, auto, and life, and Premier Family Health. Thank you to our sponsors. Make all of this possible. I appreciate you. You have been tuned into He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com with me, Wanda B. I will see you here, same time, same place, next week, 2 p.m. on IntellectualRadio.com. I'm confusing, no confusion. He said, she said, putting the drama with Wanda. Oh, he said, she said, they said, we said, we keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, she said, yeah, keeping it real for real, keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, I'm confusing, no confusion. He said, she said, putting the drama with Wanda.